What's going on, everybody? Nelly Baxter Pokemon is back with another deck profile. Our upcoming Sunday Showdown is going to be budget deck style. No GX, no EX. So let me show you what I plan on running against Nanelli's budget deck. Bunnelby! Yeah, using them in this deck. I would be remiss if I did not mention that I actually got this idea from Dark Integral Gaming. Yes, Donald, go check out his channel. It is awesome. He has all kinds of PTCGO battles up on his channel. He also has a couple of secret channels that are also pretty awesome. So go check him out. This is not Donald's exact build, but it's pretty close to it. There are a few things I added. So let me go ahead and separate the packs. I'm pretty excited about this Sunday Showdown, you guys. The budget decks are fun to play. Sometimes I get bored of playing big GXs, big EXs, and so forth. So thought we'd have a little fun with it and go with some budget action. This deck is frustrating. If you haven't seen it played before, it can be very frustrating for your opponents. Okay. And you'll see why in a minute. So I separated everything out. All right, let's start. So we've got 4 copies of Bunnelby, 70 HP. We don't really use this one for attacking at all, actually, guys. Quite frankly, we're in it for Diggersby. Let me go ahead and set our 4 Bunnelby down over there. Check this out. Diggersby's really annoying. 130 HP. We're using it for this attack. Dig, 60. Flip a coin. If heads, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon from your opponent's next turn. If we're in a pinch, Hammer Arm, which is, oh my gosh, it's expensive for 90 damage, and you get to discard a top card from your opponent's deck, but we are using it for Dig. We've got 4 copies of Diggersby. Okay, now, you guys saw the clause right here that you have to roll or flip a coin. If heads, you get to prevent. We're running 2 copies of Victini to sit on our bench for Victory Star ability. Once during your turn, after you flip any coins for an attack, you may ignore all results of those coin flips and begin flipping those coins again. You can't use more than 1 Victory Star ability each turn. So if we flip our coin after Diggersby is attacked, when we get tails, we can flip it 1 more time. So we got 2 copies of Victini, 1 copy of the Monkey Man for the instructability. By now you guys know what he does. And just to start kind of spreading some damage early, if he happens to be our active, 2 copies of the Tapu Koko Flying Flip. Yeah, Diggersby can be very frustrating when you get a heads on that coin flip, unless they have some way to Guzma you out or whatever. It's just an all-around very frustrating deck. So that's our Pokemon lineup. Diggersby. Moving on to our items, because we're not running a Tapu Lele to, I guess, fish out our supporters, we're running a lot of supporters that restart our hands. 3 copies of N, you guys know what that does. We'll set them down there. 1, 2, 3 copies of Shauna, although she's going to be very quickly replaced by, I believe it's Cynthia coming up in the Ultra Prism set. Shauna, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 5. Cynthia actually lets you draw 6. So, Shauna Bay, you're going to be with us for now. 2 copies of Lily, you guys know what that does. Draw a card until you have 6 in your hand, but if it's your first turn, you get to draw until you have 8. 2 copies of Professor Sycamore. If we've got a bunch of items in our hand and we don't need, you get to discard your hand, draw 7. And 1, 2, 3 copies of Guzma. I have been upping my Guzma count since I keep running into Golisopod and things like that. So I started out when Guzma was released with just 2. Now I've gone to 3. Some decks I even run all 4. So there's our supporter lineup. Again, these supporters are mainly lined around restarting our hands. Okay. Our items, running 3 copies of Nest Ball. This is to help us get our our Victinis, our Orangaroos, and our Bunnelbees. Okay, sorry, I had a brain fart there, guys. All right, 2 copies of Eva Soda, real quick, so we can go from Bunnelby into Diggersby. 2 copies of Ultra Ball to help us find our Orangaroo, our Victini, our Tapu Kokos. 3 copies of Bodybuilding Dumbbells. It lets your Stage 1 Pokemon have 40 extra HP, so our Bunnelby, or not our Bunnelby, our Diggersby goes from 130 to 170. And since this is a budget battle, 170 is a hard number to hit in one shot with a budget deck. Well, depending on what you're running. 2 copies of Choice Band. Even though this is budget and budget, this probably won't be used. I built this deck before we decided to do a budget style, budget deck style match. So, if anything, those will just be Ultra Balled away. 2 copies of Floatstone because Diggersby's retreat cost is 3. That is huge. Also for our Victini or Orangaroo, 2 copies of Field Blower. Energy Lotto. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal an energy card you find there and put it into your hand and shuffle afterwards. We use a lot of counter energy in case we fall behind and double colorless energies. Speaking of those special energies, 2 copies of Special Charge. Shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. Rescue Stretcher to get our Pokemon back. And we are running some basic energy, so we get to choose combination. Alright, so there are our item cards. Get all of those out of the way. Alright, and we're running 2 stadiums. You guys probably already saw them in the bottom of the screen there. Oh my goodness. 2 copies of Parallel City. We're not using it for this side. We're using it for this side. We're going to limit our opponent's bench to 3 Pokemon. And our energy count. 2 copies of Counter Energy. This is a newer energy, so I'm going to take the time and give you a look at this card. This card provides a colorless energy. If you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, and if this card is attached to a Pokemon that isn't a GX or EX, this card actually provides every type of energy, but provides only 2 at a time. So we're running 2 copies of those. 4 copies of DCE for our Diggersby, our Tapu Koko. And if the Monkey Man has to fight, Monkey Man too. And in the weird event that our Victini gets Guzma'd out and has to fight, 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Fire Energy. So there you have it, guys. That is going to be my budget deck. Yeah, we'll see how it does against Nanelli. She's coming at me hard with her budget deck. It's no fun. I'm not going to spoil what it is. Just know it has the ability to hit for insanely high damage. I'm talking able to knock out GXs at a time. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks guys for hanging out with me, checking out this deck profile. Diggersby. Yeah. Have an awesome day, everyone. Later.